name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be going over my September TBR. So for this month, I wasn't too sure what I wanted to read, so what I ended up doing is actually going back through my book hauls since January. I make a bookshelf for them on Goodreads every single month, so it was quite easy to go back through them and see what I had read and what I hadn't. And what I ended up doing was picking out one book from every single month to read in September. I'm not going to be going in any specific order. At least this gives me the knowledge of what books I have had for a while and just haven't read. So we're going to start with January. So a book that I bought in January of this year but have not read is going to be The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is a book that I have heard many good things about. I like Holly Black's writing style and I just don't quite know why I haven't picked this up. For a while, within the last month or two, I was thinking I was just going to hold on to this until this next January when the sequel comes out. However, the next Shelf Love Crate box that we are getting for September is going to have a Cruel Prince item in it, and I have not read it, so I feel like this should be something I should pick up so that I know a little bit about what I'm going to be getting in that box. And because it's been so long since I have picked this up, I don't really know what this is about. I actually don't think I ever really knew what this was about. I do know it has Fae in it, but that's about it. So I'm excited to see what this has in store. Then for February, I go to a used book sale every year with my husband. This is a used book sale that the proceeds go to a charity, and so they have tons of books there, and I almost always end up getting slightly older mass market type of books, especially like in this sci-fi fantasy genre. So for this month, I'm going to be trying to read The Fall of Atlantis by Marion Zimmer Bradley. This is a book that I believe is actually like books 1 and 2, so I think it was a duology in the first place. I don't know too much about it. From what I understand, this has something to do in Atlantis. I don't know if it's after it's underwater, probably not. Probably before it was underwater, but there's like some sort of Atlantean prince and magic, and it sounds very epic. But because it's a slightly older book, I usually put these aside to read the newer ones. So it is about time I probably gave this a try. And then in March, I picked up The Apocalypse of Elena Mendoza by Sean David Hutchinson. I have enjoyed some of his books previously. I really enjoyed At the Edge of the Universe when I read it at the end of last year, and so I was very excited to pick up this one, although I have never actually picked it up to read it. From what I understand, Elena Mendoza is going to be our main character who ends up having the power of like performing miracles. I do know that there's supposed to be LGBTQ rep in here. I don't know much else, but if it is anything with the sort of magical realism of his other books, I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. Then in April, I picked up Vincent and Theo. This is by Deborah Hilligman. This is a book that I actually purchased off of Book Outlet, and I had a couple other books to pick from this month as well. However, this is a non-fiction book, which I don't read very often, but the cover is gorgeous and it's been sitting on my shelf for a while, so I'm very interested in this one. Apparently, we follow Vincent van Gogh and his brother Theo. They had written letters to each other throughout their lives, and so from what I understand, this is going to have some of that kind of stuff in there, but it's also a non-fiction that is written like a story. So I'm hoping that it has a more lyrical storytelling prose type of tone instead of a non-fiction, like heavier type of tone. But I'm very excited to give this a go. Then in May, I went to the Phoenix Comic Fest. I think that's what they called it this year. Used to be Phoenix Comic Con, and while I'm there, I do like to pick up comics, graphic novels, and self-published books. So the one that I'm going to try to read this month is going to be The Carver by Jacob Devlin. This is a book that reminds me very heavily of like Once Upon a Time type of vibes. We have characters in here who are sort of like those types of characters where they are also like a storybook character. We're following a character named Crescenzo, who is a 15-year-old boy sometime in the past, his mother and best friend went missing, and that ended up being just a part of his life. It wasn't anything supernatural. However, after his father goes missing, one of his other friends comes to him and tells him that he is Peter Pan. And Crescenzo is actually the son of Pinocchio. Crescenzo obviously does not want to believe that, but it sounds like they're going to be going on some sort of crazy adventure to try and at least find his father. And as far as I know, there are other storybook characters that end up popping up throughout this as well. This sounds very, very interesting to me, and I absolutely love this cover. It was the first main reason I ended up picking this up off the table anyway, and so it's about time that I picked this up. Then in June, I picked up Waiting for Spring Volume 1 by Annishin. I actually picked up Waiting for Spring Volume 1 through 6. I'm putting this one on my TBR for now. However, I am that person that likes to sort of binge read manga, so it is very possible that if I pick this up this month, I'm going to be reading the other ones in the series as well. However, this is a series about a girl who has trouble making some friendships, and I don't know if she goes to a new high school or if she's just new in high school, but she ends up making friends with boys from the basketball team. So from what I understand, this is going to be a really, really cute shoujo manga with one girl and these guys with their friendship and everything like that. I absolutely love reverse harem manga and anime because I just really love the character relationships between all of them. Their friendships are amazing, and I love the character development that happens in these, so I'm super excited for this one. Then, the one that I picked for July is going to be Witchmark by C.L. Polk. So this one I don't know a whole lot about. From what I understand, this is a book with magic and witches and wizards and that kind of thing, but it is in Edwardian England. I think the magic is frowned upon in this society. Not only that, but I think our main character is LGBTQ as well. So I'm very excited for this one. I am not the biggest fan of some of the historical type of novels. However, because this also has magic-y elements, I think I might really enjoy this one. And then the book that I picked for August is obviously one of my most recent acquisitions because August has just ended and I purchased quite a few books on my trip. But I have decided to go with Theatrical by Maggie Harcourt. This is a book that is not out in the United States right now. It looks like it is only available in the UK, and it is supposed to be the UK's answer to Rainbow Rowell, which I think is going to be a really, really cute type of romance. This one is about a girl who does not like to be in the spotlight, but she does work in the background of like theater productions, that kind of stuff. But then she ends up getting an internship in Hollywood and gets sort of thrust more into the spotlight when an actor's understudy, I believe, takes an interest in her. So I don't know much else about it, but I figured with all the other types of books we have on here, this nice sort of romance would be a good addition to this TBR. And then I do get Shelf Love Crate every month, but I've been having some trouble remembering to pick up those books sometimes, and so I decided to add one more book that was a book from that grouping. So every month for the past, I think, 6 months, I've been getting the Shelf Love Crate, and I have read a couple of those books, but I feel like I need to catch up a little bit more. So for this month, I would like to read The Bird and the Blade by Megan Bannon. This is the book that came in our July Shelf Love Crate, and this is a standalone book, which was part of the reason I picked this up. Some of the other books that we've gotten recently from them are the first in a series, and they are the newest book in the series, which I do love series, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I like to get at least one more book in them to sort of marathon them through so I don't forget a lot of the things that happen before I get to the next book. However, this one is a standalone, so I think that's going to be really, really good for me. This is also about the Mongol Empire, so this is a like set in a historical place, and our main character's name is Jinghua. She has lost everything in her life and is very, very like down in the dumps when this starts. However, something interesting ends up happening. I don't know quite what yet, but she ends up in on a conspiracy sort of thing to help the prince and king escape from, I think, the Mongol Empire. I don't really know much about it. I do know that there's going to be like riddles and secrets and like crazy things that are happening. And I just love this cover, so I'm absolutely excited to read this one as well. So those are all of the books that I'm going to be trying to read this month. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Leave me a comment down below letting me know if you've read any of these. I would love to hear what you guys thought of them. Subscribe to this channel if you would like to see more videos. I do have videos up every Monday and Thursday, so I will see you then. Bye!